This is the video number 2, C++ intro variable. Before we start, we just want to recap from the video 1 what we have done. So what we have done is the major 7 lines. First of all, include iOS stream. That's the library for you to use CLCin functions from this library. And using namespace, that is for cout. If you don't have this specific line, you need to use std : cout and blah 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 blah, and then std end of line. If you're not sure what I'm saying, please refer back to the first video. And then next, the system pause is just asking the console to pause and not to run away after all the code is being run. And return 0 is just returning a value back to the functions of main to finish the entire function. Alright. So next, today's topic is just about variable. So variable is just something that hold a value in C++, actually in all kind of programming. They all use like the same thing, same data type, same format. But what you have to take a look is, this is how it should look like. The first term, it has to be data type, and the second term, it has to be a variable name. Sometimes if you don't have a value, you won't have equal to a certain numbers. Alright. So what it does is, when you create a data type and give it a name or equal to a value, what it does is it's telling the computer, hey, there's a computer component called RAM. That is where it stores the variable. When they want to retract the value, they're going back to the RAM and get the value and then use that specific value. So this is what you need to know. It's just the data type and the variable name and the value itself, and it has to look like that. In this table, you probably can see that it's called data type. There's a lot of data type like int or short or unsigned, short int, unsigned int, long int, unassigned long int. There's all kind of data type. You just have to pay attention to this specific column. This column is actually the space, or how much memory it takes to hold a variable. Alright, I'll repeat that again. This column in the middle, like 22444488811, this specific column is actually telling you that how big is the size of this data type. Alright. For example, if we use double as a data type, then it will take up to like 8 bytes in the RAM. Okay, and on the right side you can see a lot of numbers, like big, small numbers. That is the range of int, how big or how small int can hold. Okay, so if we go above like 2.1 billion, you have to use something else. Okay, so this is an idea of what is the data type and the data type size and the range of the data type can hold. Okay, so let's do some example. If you want to create a data type, what you have to do is type out the data type name, for example double, and then you need to give it a name. Let's say Java. Okay, it doesn't matter what kind of name you want to give. You can say, hey, let's say a dog. Okay, you can say a cat. You can say my house. You can say like Rio Hondo. It just doesn't matter. Okay, so this is the way you would like to create a variable. Okay, so since I assign or create a variable with a data type called double, which means that the computer would expect you to have some sort of decimal. Okay, let's say 20.01. This is a double type. This is a double data type. If you have a decimal, you probably want to use double. Okay, int. What is int? Int is obviously a integer, right? What is integer? It's just like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is integer. Alright, exact number. That is integer. Okay, so since we create a variable called dog with a data type of double, what if I want to print that out? What if I want to use this value? How can I print that out? You have to, first of all, you have to do cout, alright, and dog. Alright, this is my variable. Alright, so that is the way to print out a variable with 2 arrows pointing to the left, and the variable is in between of 2 arrows, and that is the right way to print a variable. Okay, so for example, int, how can I print this number? What I have to do is cout the same way, arrow to the left, and then type the variable name. Alright, and arrow again. This is my second variable. Okay, so let's compile. Control Shift and B. Alright, success. So let's see. Debug. Alright, as you can see, variable 2, variable 2, and the variable 20.0234, 20.0234. Alright, this is how you print out a variable. So what if you don't assign a value to it, and you're inputting, like for example, this is an int, and then cout, enter a number. And what if you enter a number that is not an int? What would happen? Let's see. Let's see, like 10.5. Can you see that? It will automatically drop the decimal place for you. So For example, if you're creating a program for like a bank and they drop all the decimal places, like for 1,000,000 users, and the bank may lose like a lot of money by dropping the decimal place. You don't want to do that. So you have to know what kind of input you're expecting, and you need to use the proper data type. Okay, so let's do it again. .5. You see 10.5 is coming back. So this is the way how you print out a variable in a cout command, and this is the way you store a value to a variable. Okay, so this is just a basic idea of variable. So, and there's another way. If you know that the variable is not going to change, for example, in a day there's like 24 hours. That is a must. That's the law, right? You can have 25 hours, right? Or you know, pi is 3.14 and blah 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 blah, right? And that's the fact, right? Let's say the pi is, let me see, pi. So this is the pi, and this is the pi, and you don't want anyone to change it. And since this is a constant, what you can do is const and then the data type, okay, and give it a name. So when we use this specific constant and now data type, for the name of the variable, you have to create it like an uppercase. Alright, pi equal, that is uppercase. Alright, so when you use this, when you come across to create a constant variable that it is fixed, the value is fixed, and you don't want it to change at all, then you probably want to do it this way. Okay, so in order to print this variable, we are doing exactly the same thing. So let's do it. This is pi, and I just put pi. Then I should expect pi on my screen. This is pi. Okay, so this is the way how you would like to set up a constant variable that you don't want anyone to change it. So you may want to ask how to control the decimal place. There's another library called iomanip. Alright, so iomanip, what it does is manipulate input and output. This is the reason why it's called iomanip. Manip is manipulate. IO, as you know, is input and output. In order to use these functions, what you have to do is you have to let the computer know, hey, I want to use that functions iomanip. What you have to do is type this fixed cout and fixed and set precisions. Alright, and then bracket 2. What it does is it will turn a decimal place into 2 decimal, which is just 3.14. Alright, it will automatically round it up for you. Alright, so let's see what's going on. Okay, I did something wrong. Oh, remember when you running VS on a Windows systems, since VS is based on a console, so when you every time you want to compile or decompile, you have to click exit from the previous program that is run. Otherwise it will stuck. It is holding the sections and you cannot compile. Alright, So let's rebuild it again and run it again. Alright, 2 decimal place, 2 decimal place. Let's change it to 4. I should expect 4 decimal place. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. This is the way how you use IO manip. If you want to know more about IO manip, you just go search IO manip C++. You can see like set precisions. This is how you set a decimal place. Okay. You can set width. You can do a lot of stuff. You just have to base on the library. Like there's a documentation for that. You just check it out and apply it on your program. Then this is how the way most people learn how to do a programming. Alright. Since you guys already know how to do a variable with numbers like int or double, you probably like want to know how to store a sentence, right? Sometimes you want to get users like full name, and how can you do that, right? All right. So there's in all the programming languages, when you want to input or store a string, a sentence, what we will call that is called string. All right. String is called a sentence. Sentence is a string. All right. So what you're doing exactly the same thing. String is a data type. You want to give it a name. Let's say name, and you are done. But one important stuff is you have to include the string library. If you do not include the string library, the function of string will not work. Alright, let's say cout full name, and then cin string name, and then cout name. You can see if it works or not. As you can see, IO stream and string, I'm missing a string library, so you can see all those errors coming out saying that you're just missing a string library. Alright, so if I do that, all the red arrow, curly arrow or underline is gone. You recompile it. Okay, I'm still fail because I did not exit my previous program. Succeed. Alright. Full name. As you can see, Jeffrey Chen, I input my name, and it only display my first name, right? The reason why is that since I'm using another library called string, it has its own way to store variable. Alright, so what we have learned is cout and blah 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 blah, right? And then cin to a variable name. It won't work for string. Okay, in order to use string and get input from users, what you need to do is get line bracket cin comma and the name of the functions, the name of the variable that you want to store. It is exactly the same thing as cin name. Alright, it's just exactly the same thing, name to name, cin and cin, but you're storing a string from the string library. You have to use its own way to make things work. So this is the way you store the string from a user input. Alright, Alright, let's compile. Okay, there's some error. Oh no, I'm again. So full name Jeffrey Chen. So you can see Jeffrey Chen. Alright. So this is the way how you should get a string from a users. Alright. So now you know how to get a string from a users. How about a character? What I mean by that is just A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Those are character. How can I get those stuff? String probably will work, but there's another way to do it. It's called char. And then obviously you have to give it a name. Char is just a data type. Let's say the name is name again. Alright. So let's say we want to get your first exam letter grade. Good thing is char is just using the same storing functions with IOStream. So what you need to do is just see in and then do exactly the same thing that you used to do. So then you will get the value from the users. Alright, let's compile it again. Control Shift B. Let's say A. Alright, this is what I get, A. Alright, so that is the way you get a character from the user's input. Alright, so let's say sometimes you might experience something like that, like enter yes or no questions. Right, so enter Y if enter M if you are male, enter F if you are female. So I will change that to sex. Sex. Alright. So let's say I enter the small letter M. This is M. What if you want to convert the small letter M to a bigger M? What you have to do is obviously you have to do the variable name equal to upper bracket sex. Alright, so what it does is two uppers are built-in functions from a C++. So what you have to do is a variable name equal to the functions, and you want to convert a specific variable to an uppercase. This is the way how you do it. Alright, so obviously you can do an uppercase, you can still also do a lowercase to lower. Alright, that's the way you do a lowercase. Alright, let's print it out and prove that we are correct. Okay, so I'll put a small letter M. So I'll put a small letter M. Alright, I input an M. I store the value to the sex, and then it will help me to convert what I input, which is M, to an uppercase, and I print it out so I can see a big M. And then after the big M is printed, I say, hey, convert this x to a lowercase to a small m and print it out. As you can see, the small m is printed out. So that is the idea of how you convert a letter to a big to uppercase or lowercase. Okay. So one more thing, last thing about I want to talk about variable is if you have a whole bunch of variable, let's say I don't know, let's say about, and then you have the same data type again with different name, let's say car, and then French fries. Alright, maybe I don't know, plane. You don't have to like create a new line just to establish a variable. What you can do is add everyone and put a comma. Alright, put a comma between variable names, then it will work exactly the same thing as you keep on creating a new line and new names. Exactly the same thing. It will save you some time and it will be more neat. Alright, and usually people or I will store variable name just by doing that way, but it will be the same thing by doing this. Names and then one int name 2 bracket 2, I mean curly bracket to be exact. Alright, it will work exactly the same thing, but it's just there's a lot of different ways to do it. Okay, it's just saying I didn't use this all variable, so it's just letting me know I didn't use it, but it doesn't matter. I should remove all those functions and print name, and then not print, let me see, names and then 2, as you can see, 0 0 1 1 2 2, they're exactly the same thing, so it's just your preference. Alright, but I normally use is just this one. It's just a little bit easier. Alright, so that's all for today, and for the next video I'm gonna do some basic calculator like by C++ and maybe some other questions that from online resources or from my school. Alright, you guys have a good day.